안녕하세요. 감사합니다. Hello and thank you for joining me again. Orbits out there, LOONA fans. I just saw a post about is it Chuu, the member who was removed from the group by BlackBerry, the production company, and well, I don't know exactly what's going on with that. You know, it's from what I hear, well, first off, the company put out some sort of a statement saying that Chuu was being untoward with staff members and members of the group, but from what I've seen, it's hard to believe it. Like, it doesn't seem like a very credible claim. Many LOONA fans are posting things in defense of Chuu, and there's even been former staff members from the company that have made the counter arguments, and was it Hyujin, the other member from LOONA, who's come out and wants to make a statement, I'm sure, in defense, but you know how these things are all sort of mitigated by contractual obligations and such, but it doesn't seem fair, man. I feel for the Orbits right now, for sure, and for the group, also for the members of the group, because it's a big mess, right? It's a big mess. That's what they say. So, you know what? Let's check out this LOONA video for this song called "Flip That." Let's see.
모든 걸 다 flip that 세상을 뒤집어 똑같은 day and night 이어지지 않게 나의 순간은 바로 지금처럼 wow 끝없이 펼쳐져 I'm feeling nice I'm feeling good so flip that now hey 훌라라라 꽃을 피워 손끝에서만 다가 두근두근 넓게 훌라라라 눈을 뜨면 어느새 달라진 나를 느껴 가만히 나를 끄는 새로운 빛을 따라 We love the way we go 그래 모두 뒤집어 Slow with the bass Flip that 뒤집어 전부 flip that 너도 알려줄게 우리가 Oh gotta do 별이 없는 길 다시 빛이 생길 거라고 Come on make it count down 같이 말해줘 변하는 건 멋지고 궁금해 색깔처럼 모두 다른 듯해 Why flip it inside out 꺼내줘 네 맘속 피어난 비밀 뒤집어 언제라도 들어줄게 Flip it 나나나 달을 보며 기다려온 내일 두근대는 heartbeat 나나나 눈을 뜨면 어느새 달라진 우릴 느껴 Hey 가만히 나를 끄는 새로운 빛을 따라 We love the way we go 그래 모두 뒤집어 Slow with the bass Flip that 뒤집어 전부 flip that 너도 알려줄게 우리가 Oh gonna do 끝없이 repeat. Hey babe, hold on. 이제 내 눈앞에 나타나. 점점 번져나가. 내게 스며들어가. Yeah, 알게 되겠지 우리 진심으로 원하면. Go slow with the bass. 뒤집어 뒤집어 전부 flip that.
Oh, interesting. This song is from not that long ago. Man, it's crazy, isn't it? This was sort of, it's like one of those sort of summer songs, you know what I mean? It's got that electronic dance kind of pop feel to it. Plenty of contrast in between all the sections. It's very interesting in terms of its rhythm. The entire song structure together. You go through many different changes, you know. It has a great consistent bass sound for like as much contrast as there is between the sections, you know. The bass really is strong and sort of drives this whole track forward, you know. And the vocal work is great. LOONA's another one of these groups, you know. I just because they are such a large group, you know, they have a lot of color, a lot of different color. Most of it's bright, most of it is you know, very sweet tones that are towards the upper registers, you know. So there's a lot of strong upper register voices, falsetto voices, but they all sound very healthy, very rich, right? And all of these voices together can create very rich textures in terms of the harmonies, and yes, it's very upbeat. It's very makes you want to sort of move, you know, like most of your good K-pop tracks are gonna do. They're fun. They make you want to dance, and they make you want to you know, just sort of move, right? You can feel the rhythm that's going on in this. Visually, the video is a treat, of course. Great choreography. You know, this is one of those groups, you know. It's just they're really enjoyable, no matter, you know, what it is that they do. Let's see. I know that there were some things in this video that, you know, are featured that are slight callbacks to things that they did before, past tracks, you know, past videos and such. And it's good. It's fun. It's a very fun song. It's a very enjoyable music video. At the same time that I enjoy it, it's a little bit bitter, isn't it? Because I'm like, well, you know, Orbits, just enjoy this. You know what I mean? Like, enjoy this because it's there. It's not gonna go away. It's there. You know what I mean? Let's try to pick out some specific elements here. So this is like the way this begins. It's very sort of obscure and undefined, right? Like there are several different synth tones that are busy, and they're not really locked into any sort of particular pattern yet. It's just sort of expressing different colors and different sounds, and it will eventually sort of move together and kind of coalesce into the track. This is 12 because there are 12 members. Okay, there will always be 12. Well, okay, so I'm hearing actually now the guitar sound is really standing out. It's almost a funk style guitar. Some chords that are being played in a very, very upbeat, almost like a percussive instrument, and of course we have some bright synth rhythms that are going on over what feels like a very sort of it's a punchy kick, but it's also kind of big. It's kind of round,
모든 걸 다 flip that 세상을 뒤집어 똑같은 day and night 이어지지 않게 나의 순간은 바로 지금처럼 wow 끝없이 펼쳐져 I'm feeling nice I'm feeling good so flip that now hey.
Yeah, lots of things going on, right? The percussion really ramps up there towards the end of that first verse section. Man, like punchy kick that sounds very sort of hip hop, and then the bass part also, like there's a nice fat 808 bass that's going on, and then you got that very percussive guitar work that's going on, and that strange sort of synth. I don't know what that is, right? It's some sort of I don't know, maybe like a ocarina or so, just it's a very high pitched, right? But you can tell that it's a digital signal for sure. Great work between the vocal parts too. Very nice contrasted rhythms there as far as the delivery. Yeah, it started off very obscure and sort of ambient. Even you had these sort of ambient vocals that were coming in panned left and right. Not very lyrical, but melodic little lines that were starting to emerge kind of out of the mix. And then it did lock into its main groove, right, for this verse section, and works through and it's nice and cadenced very strongly when that percussion ramps up towards the end of this verse section. At least that phrase. Okay, so then it opens up right after that very particular, it's almost like a tropical sounding percussion that's at work there, and then it opens up to have the synth keys and vocals, and what sounds to me, I'm hearing like synth strings also, sort of in the middle, right? They're a bit lower than the vocal melody, but of course they're a bit higher than the synth keys that are going on. It's that part of the song that lifts and opens up and gives a lot more space. Bass still present. Almost an EDM sounding section there with the way that that bass moves, right? And then it's a very one of those sort of choppy hooks, right? Like a concise, not being very melodic, but just sort of fitting in over the rhythm part that's going on. That's mostly present because of that's very strong bass. The bass really like kicks up here, fills in a lot of that space that was made in the pre-chorus section, and it gets really fun. It gets really fun right there. Slightly, like it's still bright, but it's also got a little bit of darkness in there. You know, like sort of right around the edges, I guess you could say. Big bass. The drums gets like super wet there, like the percussion signals just like got tons of reverb on it, right? So you hit your percussive hits almost like splash, you know, whenever you hear that. It's just got a lot of that effect onto that particular track. But it's cool. It's so many different contrasts, you know, from sort of obscure and ambient, then to getting into a pretty light groove, and then going light and airy, right, and getting sort of more spacey, and then all of a sudden a little bit like dark, a little bit heavy, right, when this very strong bass part comes in. So we've gone like all over the place. We've gone like up and down and all around by the time we hit the midpoint of the song. I really like the those different vocal lines that come in during the chorus part, right? When the harmonization bit is the flip that, that, but then you have different members singing different lines over that, and you can hear the difference, right? You can hear the difference in their individual voices. It becomes very distinct in those parts as they're working over the chorus bit there. It's actually really, really cool. Oh, it's very okay. So again, the vocals, right? They're just now the percussion has dropped out again, and it's become quite airy, and you have these synth keys that are going on, with just like there's one percussive hit that's in there, but this soft, very like enveloping harmonization texture that's going on, where you hear it's not all voices at once, but probably like maybe 3, you know, and then 3 over here, or maybe it's 4 and 4. It's not all 12 voices that are going on, but they're harmonizing over different chords in the progression in this section, and the way it's panned left and right too. It has this quality that just sort of surrounds you, right? And then you get these very, very sweet melodies that are sung by the different members. The upfront lead melodies that come in during this section. It's very cool. Such a so many different feels in this one song. So many different contrasts in the color and the tone, the tempo, all of this, but it still has its continuity. It's still very consistent.
내게 스며들어가 yeah. 알게 되겠지 우리 진심으로 원하면
Go slow with the bass.
뒤집어 뒤집어 전부 flip that 가사가 될게 우리가
Very nice.
We'll wake you up 내 빛이 되어줘 전부 뒤집어 정답은 yes I want that I want that Oh gotta do
Everything flipped, and we start the journey through the free. Man. Well, as I said earlier, first of all, it's a great track. It's got so much contrast and so much color in it. But it keeps its energy throughout, and it never feels like, like it goes off course or whatever. It never feels like you end up someplace that you shouldn't be or something like that. It maintains a continuity of its sound throughout, but it's a very interesting song structure for sure. Again, very, very nice vocal work, very great textures in the harmonies that are going on in many of these sections. LOONA is a talented group. It's this is to be enjoyed. All the music that they have made, and it's just a big mess, and I don't know how these things get resolved. I don't know for sure, but I do know that the LOONA fans, the orbits out there, definitely have got Chuu's back. They're gonna be there for the group, and they're gonna be there for her. And I've seen, already such a strong outcry of support, and people, the fans coming to defense. And man, I don't know. But I certainly hope that if it's possible, the group stays together. I hope that somehow they can bring her back and keep all 12 members together, because there's just something about it. When you have, first of all, you get the choreography, right? There's one of these things. It's almost like a twice like aspect to it, where you have so many members. You can do really fun things with the choreography, right? That's one thing. But when you have a number like 12, well, you can do harmonization in certain ways, where you can take maybe 4 of those voices and they can outline a chord, and you can take a different 4 voices and outline the next chord, and then you can take a different 4 voices and outline the next chord. or you could do it in threes if you don't want to double the root, or if you don't want to include a seventh on it. Then you can just stick to triads in your harmonizations and just go with 3 parts, and then you can get even more out of that. So it's a really cool aspect of the group. It's something that it's a bit music nerdy for sure. So not all of us are really like on about that stuff, but if you are, then if you have that understanding, then it's this cool thing that it's like, why you don't want to lose it, right? You don't want to dispense with that, because it's such an interesting thing that you can do. It's outright choral. I mean, you can get so much out of it. You can do so many things with it. So here's hoping that there's some sort of resolution that can be met, or something to try and repair this whole situation. But orbits out there, I feel very strongly about this, and it's not fair. It's totally just not a cool thing, man. Not a cool thing. But like I said, you have their music, you can enjoy it still. Definitely do, because they have great songs and great performances. And this is another one here, LOONA with Flip That. And we'll check out some more. Definitely haven't forgotten about any of these groups or anything like that. So we'll be listening to more LOONA, and we'll be watching and paying attention to see what goes on with the group. So like I said, hopefully everything works out for the better. LOONA, Flip That. It's a great song from a fantastic group, and I wish them all the best.